Ka-cha! How we doing? Let me get that yeah. If you juicing like a motherfucker. Good morning, y'all. Gap fill, but not mine, chat. Pixel perfect VWAP, chat. Pixel perfect 7.5, chat. Quit playing with me, chat. Ka-cha! Let's get it. Well, shout outs to everybody that was here yesterday. So plans already set. Pixel perfect, both from VWAP and gap fill. Yeah, so kind of like moment of truth. Do we start to head back, or are we going to be able to trade through here? Big question. Big question. You get 30-minute candle closes above gap fill, and then you're going to be looking for all-time high. You lose value area low. We're looking at 105. So nothing's really changed since yesterday. Godhound says, Kimba, you've stopped out or had TPs for yesterday's short? TPs, Godhound. We spent all day talking about it. Make sure you're caught up. Did you make sure to get caught up on the stream, Godhound? Pixel perfect VWAP. Yeah, and if you want, you can even rewind to the moment when it went like this. And look at the chat. A whole bunch of lions TP'd their short and went long right there. This line was waiting for you all day. Yeah, so we talked about it yesterday, Godhound. We're anticipating that to get cleaned, which is why we had the quit playing with me. And we pulled the fib like this yesterday for you guys. So remember when we said watch the 7.5, the VWAP is also pixel perfect. Yeah, so not only did we talk about all of this, like where your TP, I don't know if you were here when we were talking about this should be your TP, TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4. Yeah, so not only did we talk about it, if you go back and look at the stream, like the 24/7 YouTube, a lot of people not only shaved their short here, as was the plan, because this was the TPs as well. A lot of people went long right there, which was what the plan was. So 7.5 rotation, right? Yeah, so everything is always talked about. Don't be lazy and, just decide not to rewatch, right? But it's pixel perfect. You shouldn't even be asking me that because I'm always going to do what we prepared and planned for. Yeah, and then you know that I re-entered the short, right? So, yeah, everything is talked about, brother. Pixel perfect. Yeah, you good? But yeah, we were yesterday on stream, we were talking about full rotate from value area high to value area low. All of this is extra. And now I'm looking for the same thing again. And we just talked about how I wanted the gap fill to be closed at RTH. We just got that, right? Everything is pixel perfect. Everything from TPs to where, if you wanted a long, where you could long to where the next short was. Literally all day yesterday, we prepared for today. So, but I don't think it's really that different. We wanted we wanted the rejection of the gap fill. We got it. It's RTH. Coinbase left a bad high, so that's why we had this, like this. So my entry is 110.520 on the short. And then at this point, structure has changed on 5-minute now. I can't lose. Ugan says 510, 500. Nice. 110, 500. Nice. Yeah, because I mean, anything above here is Gucci, right? I got filled all the way. If I had gotten the 7A6 filled, my average entry would be even closer to the 7.5. You can clearly see I didn't get the last one that I wanted. It's the same thing as always. Kimba box, 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't get the fourth one. That's why my entry is 520. If I had gotten that last one that I wanted, my entry would be a lot closer to the 650. Gotta be testnet. Wake the fuck up. Let's go. Anyways, I can't lose. So if it wants to do this, here's the thing. I don't know if we're going to actually juice. Trade above gap fill, we're going to all-time high. Lose value area low, we're going to go to 105. First thing that I would be looking at is, okay, that's a bad high, so it's unfinished, and they did it during ETH and the weekend. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to be thinking that's prime for shorting. So if I was going to wait for a short, I would try to be patient and wait for all that to get cleaned. And if it's a good tail, then I've got a chance to go further down than what this is right now. Because like I said, quit playing with me. Fred says, S&P interesting day so far. It is, man. You know, it's level to level, right? So did it pixel fuck the point of control? Yes. You know, the 5876 was kind of like I mean, you can see it. Shwee, 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 shwee. So it's not like, whoops, so it's not perfect, but if you were going to draw like a trident base, you would anchor it to that high. So in the end, like if you did want to take a long, I mean, yeah, and it's level to level, obviously. So the only level that we have in between here and here is that. So we were talking about the 5927 and, yeah, here we are right now. And then beyond that is the 5950. So yeah, level to level. It is something that would make you go, holy shit, but there's nothing, we already knew there was nothing in between. And then from there, it's there. So that's it. No real surprises, to be honest. And then this is RTH. So you can clearly see like a nice little battle where VWAP bulls are trying to push it up. Bears are trying to desperately trying not to get above the open, not wanting to go revisit the gap. The candle closes are lining up on Fibonacci retracement. But yeah, man, everything looks clean for higher right now. Power of VWAP. 11 more minutes left. Fred, you good? Anything you want to talk about, Fred? What would have to happen for it to bearish? Well, you got to get turn VWAP into resistance. I think that's the first thing. Can it still leave the high? Yes, anything is possible. Could it leave the RTH high like that? Sure. Could it leave the 786 high like that? Sure. Yeah, but things like how if it's above VWAP, you should give it more bullish credit. If it's below VWAP, you should give it more bearish credit. Things like you don't get bearish or bullish on penetration. You get bullish or bearish on the retest. Like all of those things are still applicable. Yeah, and those are incredibly shitty highs. And so if the highs get left behind, then that's more confluence to take a long. So works either way. But I think as you can see AIM talks, and as you're going to see with time and sample size, brother, is there's always scalps to be had, you know? Like you can use concepts like higher highs and higher lows, for example, you know? And Azaz had the clip. That I would be looking at, and if it's right now, because like I said, if you go ahead and leave it like that, there's a chance that we might just crab around in the zone again, and then tomorrow we actually get the clean sweep. So like if you were, I don't know if you got to, you know, somebody asked me a couple questions about this, and you see that low right there that we kind of drew? You see it? And then do you understand why like I took the short in the morning? Because it was what we prepared and planned for, you know? But you see how like that low isn't going any lower than that one? You see how that low that I drew doesn't go lower than that one? Like I don't know if you can, and then not only that, but there were a lot of lions that took a long here. And you can, if you can go back and rewind and find the moment where it did this, you can see like 10 people going, got it, filled, took the long. So yeah, anyways, there is this sort of idea of trying to take a higher low. Okay, AIM talks. So there's always going to be like scalps to be had. All right, but I think the statistically more easier one would be like the 104, 105 level. All right. So if you're really bullish, brother, you're always, and once in a while, brother, the ones that are super aggressive longs, they will let you juice. And worst case scenario, you put your stop loss in profit, and then, you know, if it does this, then you're out. And then like watch, for example, let's say that you were not convinced of putting blind limits there. Okay. But let's say that, you wanted to, you know, that that's your invalidation, right? Because this is your structure change. So if you go from here to here and you pull the fib, let's not do it on CME because maybe you're not trading on CME. So here. And I don't know, have you been hearing about like Kimba Box? So, like, you know that your invalidation is here. And so worst case, I'm thinking you got one, the 618, which is that one, and two. So you would have maybe gotten two of your four, like half of your orders would have been filled. Your invalidation is right here. Once your structure broke, once it made a 5-minute structure change, your stop loss that was here now goes here. Okay? And then when something like this is happening, you're going, oh fuck. You're gonna go from here, this low, to this high, and you're gonna put it behind the 7.5 or 7.86. So let's do it. So you're saying to yourself, okay, that's my stop loss. Or maybe that's my stop loss. And then it doesn't hit, another structure change. Now you can move it even further up. So now this stop loss is right around here. And then this is exactly why, most likely, this happened. Because I can see if I was in this, I would have left it there and I would have gone hunted. This is your hunt. Fuck! So I bet if you looked at open interest across the board on what happened here, you're going to see longs from here. They got wiped. Most likely. You see how it all kind of just flows? So that's kind of how, so if you were understanding what the fuck was going on here and you understand this whole narrative, you can kind of understand that this is already kind of a little bit more bullish than it could have been if it wasn't this context. If this shit wasn't right here, then this wouldn't be that bad. But this is like, oh, wow. And guess where that was? And wouldn't it make sense that there would be a lot of stop loss hunts right at settlement or value area low? So when you see it tap settlement and get above VWAP, as this is more bullish, like we said, like this is a little bit more bullish than any sort of I mean, what we really wanted was this. This, oh man. And it's kind of like, dude, it wouldn't are there any lions that got stopped out on longs right here? So if all the longs got stopped out, then it would be, you really got to be careful for a pink. And these people that got stopped out on their longs, they're getting real itchy finger with it. Real like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, should I get into a long before they do the sweep? Should I get into it? Should I get into the long? Is this a golden pocket retest? Akachaya, help me. Fuck, should I get in before it's not? Fuck. Ah. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I can't believe those bitches stopped me out. Is this golden pocket bullish retest? Should I get in before they sweep that out? Ah! Meanwhile in Lithuania, hey chat, should we let us up? Hey! Different vibes, ladies and gentlemen, different vibes, different when you're prepared. If it makes value up here, sure. Yeah, but I think I'm going to just wait for the all-time high, to be honest. Like what, are you just asking if I would take an SFP short? If it does it during RTH, fuck it, let's do it. How's that? Is that what you're asking, Hector? If I'm going to short, if it SFPs the first quit playing with me level on some like 8A6 pixel? Sure, why not? Fuck it. If it's during RTH, sure. Yeah, but let's just, I think like 115, and remember that 116 to 118 level is now looking a little bit better. Yeah, but that's like a super shitty high now, so. And then, you know, like, some people might take like the scalp long if it does a bullish retest of VWAP and value area high. You know that, right? Yeah, I don't think like any trade is really worth dying on the hill over, whether you're long or short. The one that I would be willing to die on a hill for is maybe the 112, 113 SFP or the 105 long. Whether you want to, like, if people want to argue about being in a long or a short right now, I'm out of that. You know, I think, you know, just like we've been planning and doing for the last couple months, since we're not shaving any of our longs, I think we have to take hedge shorts, you know? So, like I said, if it's during RTH and if it's another SFP of the Coinbase levels, sure, I'll take it. Why not? Fuck it. I'll do it. But just to kind of play. But to be honest, I don't think I'm really I don't really care too much about which one it wants to do. How about this? If AIM Talks is going to take a scalp long at the VWAP bullish retest, I'm doing that shit. If anybody wants to do an 8A6 or an SFP of the Coinbase level on the 30-minute candle close, 15-minute candle close, short at 110.950, stop loss would be right above the 914 or the 15-minute candle wick high. AIM Talk says sometimes the best trade is none. 100%. Yep. Yeah, so just if you want to know, like, I entered a little bit with you. So do you remember the conversation that we had? There's the ETH VWAP. This is the session-based higher time frame VWAP. So anything really all the way like that would have been okay. And again, like, I'm not going anything crazy, and so I went smaller, but basically value area high and the VWAPs. So you remember? Awesome. Yeah, and I don't know if you were here when you got to see it, but the 30-minute candle body structure, that's your structure change for break even. Okay, so since we got above that, my break even is already moved up. Okay, if you don't want to get stopped out, then you're going to put your stop loss behind the 75786. What you mean with Kimba Box? Kimba Box is between 618 and 786. Yeah, Kimba Box just means 618, 786. Yeah. But the only reason why you would really take that is, one, you're already bullish like how you were, and you were already looking for a long, and or you understood the context of all the shit that we kind of broke down earlier and why that reaction ultimately makes us take this. You know, so there's really no right or wrong. Some people took it, some people didn't. So, alrighty. Fingers crossed, maybe we get lucky. Probably I get round tripped or stopped out when Macaulay comes back in 55 minutes. So the good news is Cage and Houston are going to be taking over, and they're going to be watching this with you guys. Alrighty. Yeah, and every day there's so many fucking opportunities. Let's just work on building that confidence, and you guys can see all this shit for yourself. You know, I don't want you guys to have to take my word for it on why that's the level where you move your break even. I don't want you guys to take my word for it on why, if you don't want to get stopped out, you put it behind the 75786. I don't want you guys to take my word for it on why at the end of it all, the most important thing is, regardless of your entry, you need to make sure you don't ever let this long go red. So the more you see it, I think you're going to be able to trust your own eyes. And regardless of what I say, you know, if you want a short or if you want a long, you're going to be able to do it without me having to, you know, say that I'm doing it too. Tequila. All right. AIM Talks. Even things like, if you don't want to get stopped out, you put your stop loss behind the 75786. We'll see if this VWAP holds, huh? Yeah, and then like, you know, after coming down to the 7.5, 7A6 is, you know, 0.5. And ultimately this is what you want. And then what you want is swing high, swing low. You want the structure to change, you know? And it's like, think of it as like rock climbing. You can't really secure yourself in an uptrend until you claim levels, you know? If you're rock climbing and you've attached a safety harness to the golden pocket and you're making your way up, you don't have a level to attach yourself until you get to that 7.5 or the golden pocket. So if you fall anywhere in between this anchor point and your next one, you know that you're going to just do this. So structure and momentum, are you still climbing up or are you not? And if you slip and you can't get to the next one and you fall, does your anchor hold you? Or does that fucking fall and now you're falling to really to the next level? So, you know, you can always watch, you can always identify levels, and, you know, how it's falling or how it's pumping will always tell you if you have a reason to long or short. Yeah. And sometimes things look really, really bullish or really, really bearish, and things can change on different time frames. And basically trying to finesse and navigate through all the ups and downs and ultimately getting the right trend is the name of the game. So you're always going to have opportunities to get into a scalp long, scalp short. You always want to make sure that you position yourself so you can't lose. And then one of those days you're going to get a juicy fruity and it won't stop you out before it goes. So isn't it funny that it got, stop the music for a second. You guys remember when we were looking for like the structure changed level and we were even thinking about like this, you know, and how crazy, you know, no surprises. So like clearly that's what has to happen. You know, 5 minute, great. But you remember it was the 30-minute body. So we need a 30-minute body above here. That's what would make it really bullish. So don't get got. And if it works out, awesome. If not, no big deal. But every single thing about when to move your stop loss, if you don't want to get stopped out, what Fibonacci level to respect. If you do want to maximize profits, what you need to shave at or where you should shave at. If you missed it, how can you re-enter? The invalidation, if you were chasing this, is clearly lower low. So whether you entered a long at the golden pocket or 7.5, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't even fucking matter if you have a long or if you have a short, to be honest. This is straight retail, bing bong, ding dong. Nobody's going to get got. Promise me, Lions. Nobody's going to get got, right? So shout outs to everybody longing. Shout outs to everybody shorting. All right. And we'll get after it again tomorrow.